If you knew what your true yes was and what your true no was in all areas of your life, would you be able to choose faster and easier? What futures would those choices create? Everyone is capable of connecting to their bodies in a way to have more exuberant and joyful living now and in the future. Now, here is your host of Choosing a Different Future with Siris.
Hi everyone, I'm Siris Raquel Rivas-Verdejo, and you're here listening to Choosing a Different Future with Siris. This is a show all about us talking about how we can choose something different to create a different possibility for ourselves. And I love having guests. Every couple of weeks, we have these amazing guests where they are also through their choices and their experiences and what they invite other people to, they get to also have a different possibility. So we can all together create a grander, more enjoyable, more expansive future. So very, very much excited. Today's topic is flirting with the universe. And we have a special guest, Megan Adair. And if you're new to the show and you're new to me, I am a family and child coach. So I work with individuals and families so that everybody in the family can thrive. So that's sometimes working with my special X-Men and special needs, special abilities kiddos, to the parents to make sure that their intimacy, their date nights are happening, to organizational systems that they might need so that everyone in the family feels seen, heard, and acknowledged. And I'm also a body relationship coach, which entails me awakening energies in my body, connecting with your body, and having that actually create something more beautiful, more like what you'd like to have with your body on this beautiful planet. And I, in the hopes of that, with the mission of that in mind, I created the living and dying body process with my body, with the earth, with the universe, which we're going to be talking about. And we have awakening classes where people get to learn about that body process, get to practice giving and receiving it. And it can be really, really gentle and nurturing. Most of the time it is, especially if we're willing to be with our bodies during all of that. And so we have some upcoming events where you get to explore these different ideas, these different concepts, and play with your willingness to flirt with your body and with the universe. And one of them is our next awakening class, which is on Saturday, June 24th, in person in Charlotte, North Carolina, and live streaming from anywhere around the world. It's a one-day class. It's a certification class. And then we also have our Expansive Energies group, which we meet twice a month for 45 minutes for people to receive group therapeutic energy work, all about your self-care. And this month's theme is how much healthier? Yeah, how much healthier can we be? And you get your first month's free if you're joining, and you just register at empoweringlightlanguage.com/expansive energies. And then when you email us mentioning this podcast, you get your first month refunded. So take note of that. You get to play around with these different energies. And this month, with getting healthier, you get to educate yourself on your health options. You get to celebrate with the other members of the group and awaken these energies within your body so that you can have more clarity and ease with your health. And then last event that I would love to invite you to this upcoming Monday is our February monthly call for being a different possibility with families. And last month, January, was all about self-care with families. This month is love languages with families. And so you can register for that by going to empoweringlightlanguage.com/events. And it's a complimentary call. Each of these calls every month are complimentary. And if you'd like the replay for last month's theme, or whenever you catch this, if you'd like any of these replays, go ahead and message us at empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com. But this is going to be a really, really fun month. I love talking about love languages, and it's interesting how we can apply that so that we can be loved truly within our families and ask for the kind of love that we need. Now, my guest, Megan Adair, we're going to be talking about flirting with the universe. So I want to make sure that you know a little bit more of these energies of what we're going to talk about. I'm going to read the description really quick. So what if you lived your life as an adventure of flirting with the universe? Are you willing to acknowledge the freedom of everyday living where you can truly choose how you experience your life, the world, other people, everything? Would you be willing to step into a game with the universe? Life is so serious. Oh my goodness. I know, but how much fun is that? Aren't we here to have fun? I am. I am. Anybody else? Raise your hand if you are. In the chat, if you're in our live chat room and you're in our live audience, go ahead and let us know if it's for you too. Joy, play, adventure, fun. These are all vital and essential components of life. That's what I call flirting with the universe. This is Megan's words. And so in this episode, a wizard of magnitude, my friend and colleague, Megan Adair, will flirt, will tease, and invite us all to live our lives from a space of question, humor, and hope with myself. So, and all of you, any of you that are willing, so that we can uncover what's truly possible for us, our bodies, and our universe. So, are we ready to play? Can I just say first and foremost, Megan, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know you're a wizard of magnitude, and I also get that your main aim is to show anyone that's willing that there's so much more available, that you invite me each time that we interact to that as well. And I'm constantly looking at, so what else is here? I also know that de-stressing and relaxation is really important to you. I want to talk about that. And inviting people to change anything that they'd like in their lives. And you do that with so many different things. That you do that by diving into ancestral work and going on adventures for people and looking at how they can create ease and possibility along their way with you and without you. And so I want to make sure before I forget to mention, go ahead and explore, even as you're listening to this show with Megan. Her website is www.megan, Adair.com. I always spell it out with Megan's because there's so many different spellings for Megan. And Megan has some upcoming events. We're going to include the link for a guided exploration on flirting with the universe on her SoundCloud and in the notes of this episode. And you're invited to her free upcoming Flirting with the Universe events. You can register for them. They're March 6th and March 14th. Is that correct, Megan?
That's correct.
Awesome. And so we're going to have those links available for you, but you can also find that information at her website as well. But just know March 6th and March 14th are those free events that you can connect with her more directly at. So Megan, honey, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me. Hi.
You're welcome.
Morning.
Morning to us. Cheers.
Cheers.
I got my fur baby mug. I love it. And and that's one of the things I'd like to start with. It's always fun to flirt with you. And one of the things that I One of the things that I realized as I was preparing for our discussion today was how much I've actually not been flirting as much as I used to since my grandmother passed away in June of 2022. And so I just want to thank you for inviting me to ramp that up in myself, because that's me really being me. And
yeah.
I learned it from my mom. She's one of the biggest flirts on the planet. And Mom, wherever you are, we got to flirt some more again. We got to ramp it up. I feel like both of us have dialed that down in our grief, in processing our grief. And I guess one of the things when I was looking at, well, why would people want to flirt? For me, it's like to be you is one of them. And also to have this sense of joy again with your life. Like my grandmother would be scandalized, but also very amused of every time she would see me flirting. And and that was a way that we could like banter and show our love for each other. So for you and your experiences, why would anyone want to flirt, let alone flirt with the universe?
Because it's more fun. So much more fun. Like flirting is kind of like a second nature thing to me. Like it just I just like, I breathe and I flirt and like banter and have fun. And it's more fun. It's a more generative energy than being serious. Like so many of the things that most of us desire, like joy, happiness, a great relationship, more money, fulfillment, like all of those things are actually attracted to fun and joy. Money is attracted to joy. Money is attracted to fun. And so when we're having fun and being fun, we just naturally invite more of the things that we desire into our lives.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's definitely been my experience as well. I also want to mention, especially given the dialed down version of me and of, or not even say dialed down, maybe like a more nuanced, kind of softer version of me lately, as I've been really being very nurturing to myself with my grief. I don't want anyone to think as they're listening to this that you have to have been a big flirt to benefit from this discussion or it be natural for you. I think that wherever you're at with your flirt journey, hello.
Flirt journey. I love that. I love that. Your flirt journey.
That you can actually get some tools and learn how to flirt more. And so I'd love to look at, well, how did it start for you? Because it seems natural now. And you've mentioned that this has been kind of second nature for you. And yet I get, knowing you, even in the couple years that I've known you for years now, you're a bigger flirt now than ever. And I'm freaking about it. I'm here for it. So how did your flirt journey start?
My flirting journey, I mean, like I was kind of a natural flirt as a kid. I'm an only child. So I grew up learning to talk my father into anything I wanted. That was the very beginning of my flirt journey. And I was great at it. I am great at it. Like it's fantastic. And really the journey of flirting with the universe for me is about living from a space of question. From opening that possibility, because if you're flirting, and like, I got to tell you, I've been this person most of all. So when like you have been or seen a person that is being flirted with, and then you're like, oh, it's great. We're having a conversation. And then afterwards your friends are like, oh, he's totally flirting with you. He was like really flirting with you. And I was like, no, you're just having a conversation. Like what? No, we're just talking. And they're like, girl, wake up. He was flirting with you. So kind of the beginning is to acknowledge that like the universe is flirting with you. Like other people are flirting, the flirting is an energy that we play with, hopefully on a daily basis. Like often it's an energy that is there. So to know that the universe is flirting with you and to acknowledge like, oh, hey, like, what is this energy of flirting?
Well, and I think what you're saying too is that like how many people are flirting with us that we're totally have walls up to recognizing the flirt. Especially it's like, how are they, if they're enjoying you and connecting with you, that's flirting for me. If they're laughing with you and showing and sharing an activity or some pleasurable food or something like that, and it's like ooh, when there's like a ooh, like ooh together, hey ooh, I'm like, yeah, let's ooh together here.
Ooh together. That's a really fun way to put it. I love that. Yeah, my
flirting with us through these people that may be flirting with us. What do you know about that?
The universe flirting with us through people flirting with us? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, I mean, what immediately comes to mind is like this big, beautiful platter of like all these delicacies on this platter. And the universe is like, okay, would you like this baby quiche? And that's one person flirting with you. And you're like, ooh, that was fun. And then the platter shifts and you're like, oh, there's this chocolate mousse.
The lazy Susan, it's just going around.
Yeah. What about this? There's so many different flavors and experiences to flirt with. And like, what if your life is the universe offering up to you all of these lovely little delicacies and you saying, oh, like I will have more of that. Like, oh, that was interesting. I think I'm good on that for now. What's next? And what's next? Absolutely.
I love it. Well, this is the perfect time for our first break of our show. Oh my gosh, loving talking to you, Megan. You're listening to Choosing a Different Future with Siris, with myself, Siris, on the Inspired Choices Network. And we will continue to discuss Flirting with the Universe with Megan Adair. We'll be right back.
Most people haven't been taught how to listen and partner with their bodies in order to create lives that include clarity, pleasure, ease, and connection. Tuning in to Choosing a Different Future with Siris, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and resources on how to use your awareness of bodies and energy to your advantage. Siris is a family and child coach and therapeutic energy worker who will guide you to get clear and acknowledge what's brilliant, magical, and a gift about you.
Those horns were great.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Choosing a Different Future show with Siris. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Connect with Siris through her website, empoweringlightlanguage.com, or send an email to empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Hi, everyone. I'm Siris Raquel Rivas-Verdejo on Choosing a Different Future with Siris. And our show topic is Flirting with the Universe with my guest, Megan Adair. Our show is brought to you by True Science Activated Liquid Collagen. Liquid collagen is a different, better collagen supplement. Get real results that you can see and feel. And to get $10 off of your first order and to get access to verified before and after photos, email us at empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com with the subject line Liquid Collagen. So before we went on break, we were starting to talk about why in the world would we even want to flirt? Why in the world would we benefit from that in our lives? And so join the discussion in our live chat room. Make sure I already see some of you. Hi. You can join us on the ICN app, the Inspired Choices Network app, and you can find us on any of all of the over 450 platforms for podcasts and TV that our show is on. Thank you for connecting with us, and thank you for the messages in the chat. Excellent. So Megan, my dear. So you're starting on your journey with flirting, and you're starting with your dad and experiences like that. I want to comment because I remember talking to you about the painting behind you.
Yes.
As well. And I feel like your painting is flirting with my shirt today. It is.
Yes, I think she definitely is. Absolutely.
So for those of you that are catching us on audio and podcast and not on the TV, Megan, could you describe a little bit of what's going on in that painting behind you? You could even take it down if it's easier.
Yeah. The painting, I'm just going to tilt my screen. Oh, there it is. There you can see your whole face.
Hi, beauty.
So, yeah, the painting behind me, it's very much like an elven woman. And there's a whole lot of red. It's like a really deep red and then a lighter red. And she's got this bright white hair with like blue accents. And she's just got this like sultry, like look. It's really fun. The look is so recognizable. And a friend of mine actually channeled this painting and painted it like 4 years before she met me. And then when she met me, she realized that this painting was me. And then she gifted it. And so I look at that painting and I'm like, I use that for like that facial expression is one of the most common things that people see on my face actually. And it's in a painting. And how wild is that?
One of my favorite photos of you, maybe even one that I posted on the Facebook event page for our episode, is you like at that angle, except there it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So so how does all that connect? Like flirting with the universe, flirting with other inanimate objects and things like that. Like, what's the benefit of that?
The benefit of that is that there really is more available. There's so much more available. So asking a question, as you know, as I know, asking a question, just an open-ended question, opens up this whole big, beautiful door of possibility with yourself, with your body, with the earth, with the universe. And it just creates so much more, because I think most of us want opportunity and we want more possibility. And like, that's a really great way to do it. Like, one of the ways where I started with this in my adult life actually was in my mid-20s. It was post-divorce. I was in one of the, probably the messiest place I've been in my life. Like, post-divorce tends to be a little messy. Many of us
Experienced multiple divorces from both sides of my parents. Yeah, I agree with that.
it's a messy place. And so I was just like, I was a little shell shocked, to be completely honest, and at a bottom place. And that's when I met I guess my very first spiritual mentor, whose name is Marsha Mecklin. And hi, Marsha, in Knoxville, Tennessee. She helped me into healing just from life, really, just like a little tapping, a little EFT, a little Reiki. And then she started, I would be like, but I want this and I want that. And she'd be like, ask a question and like, see what shows up. Just ask a question and see what shows up. And I was like,
what question did you end up choosing to ask at that moment? Do you remember?
A lot of different ones, I think. Like, I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah, but just she was guiding me.
Many thousands of questions ago.
Thousands of questions ago, and almost 20 years ago, like a long time ago. But she was guiding me into my own awareness and my psychic sense of like hearing things and knowing things without, like a memo being presented to me by the universe. It's not how it works typically. But she would guide me into my psychic senses and just encourage me, well, okay, ask more questions. Like, what else can you ask now? Like, great. And what are you going to choose now that the universe has offered you like this opportunity, this possibility? And it was during that time that another thing that I love to do is dance, Lindy Hop, Charleston blues, all of those like African-American dances. I'm obsessed with them. They're the best thing on the planet. I'm very biased and I'm okay with it. So at that moment, I was like, I want to be doing more dancing in my life. And I actually got the chance to teach dance to children and to guide them and to have that creativity, exploration, the joy, the performance, like all of that. And like that grew out of me asking questions of the universe.
So I want to loop back to something really cool that you mentioned that I don't even realize I'm getting another piece of it as you're saying it. So your friend, when she painted that painting that's behind you,
yeah,
what it seems like as if she was flirting with the possibility of having this new person, you, in her life. I'm sure as an artist, she flirts with the mediums and the different materials and the canvas, if that's on canvas, whatever those things are. And yet beyond that, through that, she was almost able to start calling for you to be a part of her life. And this is Jen, right? That painted that. Okay, so you've mentioned Jen to me like a ton. Hi, Jen. We haven't met yet. I would love I'm not jealous. Megan's both of ours. But you also, it's not just a friendship. I mean, you guys you do different business things together. So it's just it's so amazing how these different actions of asking questions and flirting with different materials and energies can, like you mentioned earlier, this is part of what I would circle back on. It opens this door to another possibility. We have a chat comment here. I'm going to read it. I love it. It says here, I love it. Divorce is quote unquote messy, been through it, and what a great reframing instead of remembering the bad, sad, etc. Yes, thank you, Lynn, for that. Thank you. And if anybody else in our live chat wants to chime in too, please feel free. I love it. So yeah, the other thing I noticed that you mentioned is that you got to work with kids and teaching them how to dance. And you mentioned how when you were a kid, you were a big old flirt and you were able to, and that's one of the things I love about working with kids too, is kids are such an invitation to you tapping into your inner flirt. It may be controversial to say. I did some talks, I did some interviews where I was like, yeah, I flirt with the kids. I flirt back with them. It's not that I'm sexualizing them. Flirting and sex don't have to be together.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to wink at them and to be playful and to ask questions with them and to be like, I see what you're doing and I'm not even minding it right now. I see that you want that yellow truck. Like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
and then be like, oh, she got me.
She got me. She saw me. And like also like flirting with trees and animals and flowers. Like flirting is so much bigger than, I mean, flirting is its own wild universe. And
It is. And so when we're saying flirting with the universe, I'm getting, as we're talking, that it's actually our own universe, like everybody that's in our world and our universe, and then maybe the universe with a capital U as well, if you'd like.
Yeah.
So what's required? Like, if I would like to get even more in tune with flirting with the universe and knowing how to do that, like, tell our listeners, like, what are some of your tips for someone who would really like to be able to do this with a lot more ease, a lot more fun?
Yeah. I think first of all, if you are in a place of like seriousness or significance and you'd like to get into that flirty place, that fun place, I would really suggest shaking it out, like shaking your body, having a little dance break, like getting your body involved, because flirting is a sensational experience. And the way we experience sensation is through the body. The way the body communicates is sensation. And so actually flirting and dropping the seriousness, having fun with your body, and then choosing a question. Like I can't say it enough. The power of question that I learned in my mid-20s. And then again, in my late 30s, when I met Access Consciousness, it's just incredible.
Well, I love that. So what are some of your favorite types of movement? There's the shaking it out. You also do yoga. Tease yoga classes. So do you get to invite people with your yoga classes to also like flirt with their bodies in a different way and shake things up that way? Like, how does that look like? I have some particular yoga poses that I particularly like that awaken my flirtatiousness, but I would love to know what you are at with that.
One of the things when I am leading a yoga class, one of the things, like so many people, like yoga is kind of significant in our culture. It's like a serious thing. And like, it's an incredibly important practice. It's amazing. And when I have people in yoga class, when I have them in like downward facing dog, I'll be like, and like, shake your hips out, like wag your tail like a puppy, you know, like I'll ask them to shake it out. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, like, you can smile. Smiling is allowed. Just like breaking the seriousness of it. Like we're doing this practice and we're engaging in it, and it's paying so many dividends to our bodies, our spirits, our minds, all the things. And like, we can laugh at it and we can laugh with it. And like, it doesn't have to be so serious, you know? I'm not an Indian guru who sits in a cave.
Relationship coaching, that idea of the smile, like in yoga practice, but outside of yoga too, when you're sitting at the computer, smile, when you're on the phone, smile, when you're about to have a challenging conversation with somebody, smile. Like it changes the vibration, it changes your tone. People can hear the smile, even if they can't see you. And then it also changes your physiology. So I think that can be, this small little start can be so impactful and so important and helpful. But it's time for our next break. When we return, I really want to talk about some of your favorite other movements and some other things that are required for us to be the flirts that we truly be. So we'll be right back, everyone. You're listening to Choosing a Different Future with myself, Siris, on the Inspired Choices Network. See you soon.
Most people haven't been taught how to listen and partner with their bodies in order to create lives that include clarity, pleasure, ease, and connection. Tuning in to Choosing a Different Future with Siris, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and resources on how to use your awareness of bodies and energy to your advantage. Siris is a family and child coach and therapeutic energy worker who will guide you to get clear and acknowledge what's brilliant, magical, and a gift about you.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Choosing a Different Future show with Siris. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Connect with Siris through her website, empoweringlightlanguage.com, or send an email to empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Siris Raquel Rivas-Verdejo on Choosing a Different Future with Siris, myself, Siris. And today our show topic is Flirting with the Universe with my guest, Megan Adair. Our show is brought to you by True Science Activated Liquid Collagen. Liquid collagen is a different, better collagen supplement. Get real results that you can see and feel, and to get $10 off of your first order and to get access to verified before and after photos, email us at empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com with the subject line Liquid Collagen. So before we went on break, we were talking about some of the different things that we can do to awaken our flirtatiousness, to awaken the sense of joy and playfulness within us. I'd love to hear more about that. But really quick, we also were talking about some of how yoga and different movement can shake up and awaken this within us. And have I ever told you about I guess it's called happy baby pose usually, right?
Yes. Yeah.
One of my favorite yoga instructors from the Wilmette area of Chicagoland. Big shout out to my people in the Niyama Hot Yoga, the Niyama Yoga Studio in Wilmette. Love that studio, and it's always home. I can come back there anytime. And one of my favorite instructors, Heather, she at one point, one of the times we were doing happy baby pose, which is where you're on your back, you have your legs up, kind of like a dead bug, and you're grabbing your ankles, potentially, or your shins, however, whatever you can reach. And so your knees are up by your shoulders, maybe. Okay, can you picture this? And at one point she's like, yeah, we could call it happy baby, or we could call it happy girlfriend, or we can call it happy boyfriend. Like everybody in the class, well, that I could see, was cracking up laughing, and it totally helped the whole vibe. I mean, she's one of those teachers that she gets you laughing so much, and it totally contributes to us releasing all this tension in our bodies, us enjoying the practice more. It builds community even more. So I just wanted to put that. That's one of my favorites. Anytime I do that, I'm like, happy boyfriend pose, happy girlfriend pose. Okay, yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic. It's really funny.
Oh my gosh. So you mentioned that we need to ask questions, that it would be beneficial to ask questions. Could you give us some specific questions that are your go-to in the last couple of days or weeks that you've been playing with yourself when you're flirting with yourself, when you're flirting with the universe?
Yeah. How much fun can I have? How much fun can I have today? I love asking that question. Also, how does it get better than this? It's a question I got from Access Consciousness. How does it get better than this? Because when you ask that, no matter if you're having an amazing time or a not so amazing time, it's asking the universe to show you Oh, this is how it gets better. Oh, and then this is how it gets better again. And how does it get better? How does it get better than this?
There's no cap. There's no limit.
There's no limit at all. And like, it really like, for us to really get that, I think it takes playing with this and really like seeing things as they show up and really, really putting ourselves in the game, you know? Like this is a way to get in the game and the play of your life in a totally different way.
Well, and one of the things I love about access consciousness that was really impactful for me is I was very much asking questions before most of the time to get an answer, to get a right answer, to get the answer that was going to get me to this next step thing and this plan that I had, because I'm very like, I love planning. I love scheduling. You've seen my Google Calendar. Like it's a
oh yeah, it's a work of art. It's a colorful work of art, a color-coded work of art.
And it was such a great relief to be invited to ask questions for awareness instead, to be this continuous flow and conversation and banter with my body, with the awareness in the universe, instead of, okay, I got the answer and I'm done. Oh, shoot, that one didn't quite work. Okay, now I messed up. Versus, oh, that actually gave me more information to play around with that. And I keep asking another question, and keep flowing with my awareness and the energy of it. So when people are hearing these questions that you mentioned, I'd love to hear some more as well. I want to make sure that they get that it's actually you're asking these questions with no point of view, with just like, let's see what shows up, with curiosity. And that's part of what I love about flirting is like, I'm really showing an interest and a curiosity in the person, if it's a person, or in the kiddo, or in my fur baby, you know, Willow, my dog, or, you know, whatever. I'm like, hey, how's it going? How are you? That question is this flirtation because there's this leaning in to it. Like, hello. Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
I'm doing great with you here. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Oh! See what it is there?
Yeah.
Gosh, for me, one of my favorite questions that I've been looking at was actually one that you gave me, which is, so I want to give you credit for this one. You mentioned that when you were talking with, I think, one of your coaches or a colleague, and they mentioned asking each day, what can I do to move toward my aims today, or something like that? I've been tweaking it a little bit. Like it's really like, what actions can I take, and how can I be to move closer to the aims that I'd like to have? Like,
Sure, yeah.
In the world.
Yes.
Correct me on my wording though. Like, what's the question?
What actions am I taking today to forward my aims? Like to forward my aims in the world. And that's actually something I got from Carolyn Elliott, who wrote Existential Kink. I'm in a group that she runs called Electric Yes. And so that's part of our everyday, like, it's called an alchemical journal. So yeah, ask that question every day.
Yes, we'll put her name in the live chat room for y'all. Yes, thank you for asking for that. Yeah, I love that. So that's been, thank you for that question. I think that's been really, really just enjoyable for me, because I love the word. Specifically, aim is what stuck with me, and that's been the most contribution, because it's different from a goal. I love thinking of things as an aim and a target, because I can change what I'm aiming at. I can move the target, while a goal is like this more rigid, solid thing that it just never really worked with me. I have to use that term for the kids I work with, because it's all about SMART goals for their individualized education plans, and for, you know, their clinic goals and things like that. That's the language that I have to use for people to get what I'm saying, so I don't have to explain it so much. But when it's my own personal self-work, I love that you added this piece of aim to my world. So thank you. Because then it's like, okay, that with the flirtation too, we can change where we're aiming our flirtatious energy at as well.
We can. And like, how much fun is it to see what shows up when you just change your aim a little bit?
That's a
and like playing with that, like just the whole, like letting yourself play, like letting ourselves play with business, or with like the food we're eating, or whatever it is, like how much fun could that be? Like what music would it truly contribute to my body to listen to right now? Like, body, what music would you like to hear? What music would you like to move to? So many questions available.
Oh my gosh. Well, and the other thing too that I love is that you're very aware of the earth. You have these immense capacities of the earth, and you do this really cool thing that I'm still discovering about you and how it looks like for you. And if you don't mind, I'd love for you to speak to this as well. You do this ancestral work. Ancestral deep dives, right? And it's just every time I'm just talking about it right now, I got goosebumps in my back. I'm like, woo, hello, body awake on this. So just if y'all are listening to me saying this and your body's responding in a certain way, kind of like ask the question, like lean into that. Like, what's your body telling you about this? But Megan, tell me, how does this ancestral work look like, and what does it entail, and how does this connect with this idea of flirting with the universe?
I love ancestral work. It's wild. I've been doing it most of my life at this point. So it's all based on the premise that you actually know and that we each have infinite awareness. And so when I do ancestral work, usually people come in with like an aim, or like this thing is coming up, or I just feel like I want to like do a little ancestral work, or take inventory, take stock of that. And so I just invite in ancestors and we talk to them. The way that I've been doing it lately is I look at 4 branches. So mother's mother, mother's father, father's mother, and father's father. So each of those lines branching off, because there's so many people. Like it took so many people to make my body, and to make your body, to make Siris's body. Like it took a lot of people, and we're currently at this, space of our family tree, like out in the branches, perhaps. And so inviting in, like I start with one of those 4 lines and I invite them in. And then with the person, like we drop our walls and barriers, expand our energy out. And like, there's an energy that shows up, because when your body dies, you keep going. The body dies, the being does not die. The being has choice, and the being will choose something else. And there's all kinds of wild choices that people's ancestors make, that we make. It's fascinating. And so asking that question, inviting in like the mother's line, like for this one person, like I learned that she was Italian and Greek, and there was this one line, and there was this like man that was like, I'm the head honcho here, like you're talking to me. They were all lined up behind him. He was like the mouthpiece, the face, like he's like, you go through me. And I was like, oh, hi, mafia, maybe? Like, is there any like mafia happening here? I don't know. But it's so interesting. Like, and then I've had like other people's ancestral lines, like a father's line I worked with, just very like quiet, withdrawn, like didn't really want to interact much. I mean, some lines are very tricksy. Some lines very want to contribute to you. And it's really just about trusting and knowing that you know.
And then how do those people benefit from you tapping into their ancestors and having those conversations with them?
Yeah. So it's actually both of us tapping into their ancestors, which is incredibly impactful.
Oh, so it's you and the person. So you're inviting them to also be aware of this. It's not like they need you to do this. It's like you're facilitating that connection with them.
I am facilitating, and everything that I do, whether it's ancestors, de-stressing, whatever, I am a facilitator. I'm not a guru. I'm going to invite you into your own awareness, because these are your ancestors. I might talk to them after this session. I'm probably won't, but these are your ancestors. They're often there to contribute to you. No, not all ancestors are wanting to contribute to you. And it's important to know that. And so it's vital for me to guide them into their own awareness using their bodies, yes or no, which I learned from you, Siris, thank you. Or the light and heavy tool from Access Consciousness to know what's true for them. Like, okay, truth, does this ancestor want to contribute to you right now? Okay, yeah, that feels light and bubbly. Okay, is this ancestor telling us the truth right now? Is he withholding something? Okay, feels like he is withholding something. So guiding people into their own awareness so that they also get a feel for each of their ancestors and ancestral lines energetic signature.
I love
Just
that.
to
So it sounds
know.
like they actually get to have more of themselves. They get to build their confidence, and they get to receive messages from this other source that maybe we've talked a lot on the show about receiving messages from your body, but it sounds like you're tapping into a whole other well of information through your ancestors and then through you with your ancestors. That's really, really cool. Wow. Okay, cool. It's time for our next break of the show. And when we return, we're going to talk some more with Megan about some of her experiences inviting people to tap into flirting with their universes and with their ancestors and anybody else that they'd like to flirt with. You're listening to Choosing a Different Future with myself, Siris, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we will continue to discuss our topic today, Flirting with the Universe with Megan Adair. We'll be right back.
Most people haven't been taught how to listen and partner with their bodies in order to create lives that include clarity, pleasure, ease, and connection. Tuning in to Choosing a Different Future with Siris, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and resources on how to use your awareness of bodies and energy to your advantage. Siris is a family and child coach and therapeutic energy worker who will guide you to get clear and acknowledge what's brilliant, magical, and a gift about you. This is the Choosing a Different Future show with Siris. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Connect with Siris through her website, empoweringlightlanguage.com, or send an email to empoweringlightlanguage@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Siris Raquel Rivas-Verdejo, and you're here listening to Choosing a Different Future with Siris on the Inspired Choices Network. And our topic for today has been Flirting with the Universe with Megan Adair. Before we went on break, we were talking about some of the different reasons why you would want to be flirting with the universe, some of Megan's examples in inviting us to how to do that, the things that we can use to start awakening our inner flirt. And on top of that, she has these upcoming events that, in case you didn't catch it at the beginning of our show, I want to make sure that you know about. So in case you'd like to connect with Megan further, her website is Megan, Megan-Adair, Adair.com, Megan-Adair.com. And she has some upcoming events. There's a guided exploration on flirting with the universe. It's on her SoundCloud that you should definitely check out. And she has some upcoming events, March 6th and March 14th, complimentary events for you to participate in. And you can find the event information on her website. But Megan, tell us a little bit about these events, in a couple of sentences so people can get an idea of why it would be beneficial for them to go.
So these events with Flirting with the Universe, it's jumping into the pool and splashing around and playing and really getting your feet wet, just getting your whole body, in that pool of playing and flirting with the universe. So it's going to be practical and fun and applicable. All of my events are experiential. Like if you can't walk away from an experience with me and have new tools to play with that are going to exponentialize your life, then that wasn't me who did that. It was someone got my body. It was a body snatcher.
So are they in person, online, both?
They're online. They're online.
Yes. So people to know. So don't feel like you have to be where she is in Ohio. In case you didn't know, she's in Ohio. She does events in person, but these are actually easy peasy. Wherever you are in the world, you can connect. So awesome.
Absolutely. So it'll be getting in the pool and playing and having a lot of takeaways to go play with afterwards.
Exactly. I think that's really, really essential because people need tools to feel like, okay, I got this. They can do these day to day. I love that these questions and these other things we've mentioned in the episode are very easy to implement. And yet, of course, you're going to go deeper in these events. And I can't wait for you to actually do more Flirting with the Universe classes as well. I think that's going to be really, really fun, and be on the lookout for that for her as well. I want to make sure that y'all know for our next episode that it's going to be on how to use sexual healing to create a great life. The description for it is, are you a sexual healer? How many of you are? And what would it look like for you to use sexual healing to your advantage more? People can use their innate gifts with bodies, energy, and healing to add energy, joy, clarity, and abilities to their repertoire. What would you like to add to your life? And so in this episode, this next episode, I will provide questions, examples, and action steps on how empathic, nurturing, and caring people can use energies and awareness to create great lives. If you're not so kind, if you're kind of a dick, I don't know if I want you to be listening to this. But like, there are people who give and who are really caring and generous. I feel like they stop themselves from awakening their sexual energies, or they don't recognize how much their sexual energies are a part of their caring. And so that's my priority. If you want to like be a creep and like, you know, creep in and listen a little bit, like you can, for those of you that are not so kind, but this is really for the people who are here to contribute to the world and create a different possibility. There's a comment in the chat room. Yeah, sometimes flirting can attract all the wrong types. So yes, good to set boundaries. Yeah, you know, there are plenty of people that listen to my show and stalk me on Facebook and social media that are not the kindest and don't have the greatest of intentions. I'm willing to receive that energy and create something different with it. But that's me. And that's also what we're going to talk about, is like, you don't have to protect yourself from those people. You can actually use that lechy energy to your advantage while awakening your whatever energy you be to it. So last words, Megan. I loved what we've talked about so far. What would you like to invite people to? Like, what would the world be like if it was Megan waving a magic wand and saying, could we have this, please? What would that be like?
Life as adventure, life as a playground. You always have choice, and there's always more. Like, I love living my life as an adventure, and I would really, if I could wave my magic wand, then we would all be in a space of living life as an adventure and having fun with it, instead of like having it be like such a weight. And so, you know,
and I think that that's also connects to, I mean, almost everything that we talk about, I'm always thinking about the kids that I love and that I work with. And that's how they are. They have this enthusiasm for living. Y'all have checked out the previous episodes on that, about creating a greater enthusiasm for living. I think that was the end of 2022 where we did that episode. Check it out. But that's the idea, is like, what if our inner children are asking for us to flirt more? What if our inner children are asking of us to have these conversations with our bodies and the universe and the earth, and we're actually doing a disservice by not doing this, And a little short anecdote, I actually have had clients and parents who, it's like, I was a little uncomfortable, Siris, when you were telling me to like kind of be more playful and flirt with my kid, but I get it. It's not about the sex. It's about the whimsy. It's about the building bonds and rapport and positive memories. And I was like, yeah, that's it. Like, have more of that. And don't you want that with the people that you love and care about, including your kids? I want to reiterate too, that you mentioned that you work with kids, that you used to work with them and teaching dancing lessons, but you actually have been working with kids recently on behalf of their parents. And so for the parents that listen to this show as well, tap into Megan for that. She's a great facilitator in having a greater connection with your kids and helping your kids feel more empowered and heard, and just, wow, just, I'm here. I'm a gift to the world. So thank you for being that, Megan, with the work that you do. You know that I appreciate you. I adore you. And just, yeah, I can't speak highly enough about you and the work that you do.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you, because you're amazing and have the wildest, most beautiful capacities ever. And thank you.
Wild.
Thank you so much. It's been wild. Wild is always a compliment for me, by the way.
It as a compliment. I just haven't been called wild in a while. I've been called spirited, which I consider kind of like wild.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun.
So reach out to Megan. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our show today. Love every one of you. Bye for now, beautiful people, and see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Choosing a Different Future show. Siris returns Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain, and 7 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, keep choosing what will work for you and your body, your own unique way honoring what will work for you.